Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Today I want to show you how to make some fall drinks using Pampered Chef's quick stir pitchers. I'm going to use the gallon size for an apple cider sangria, and I'm going to use the 2-quart size to show you how to make a copycat recipe of Starbucks pumpkin cold brew latte. So I've showed you that in another video making a single serving, but I'm going to show you how to make a pitcher full. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to make the sangria first. So as you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. I always enjoy hearing where people are from. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much for taking time to subscribe to my channel while you're here. This recipe, super quick and easy. I want to show you what I've already done ahead of time. I have our 2-quart micro cooker here, and I took this out of the refrigerator because I wanted to cool off the mixture that is in here. So what I have in here right now is 2 cups, and I'm making a double batch of this sangria. So I have 2 cups of this Honeycrisp apple cider. You could use any brand, any type of apple cider that you can find at the store. And I added 2 tablespoons of honey, and I have some cinnamon sticks inside of our the micro cooker. And I microwaved this on high for 2 minutes just to help get that cinnamon infused into the apple cider, and of course to melt the honey. This is our gallon size quick stir pitcher. I love all of our quick stirs because they have this really cool plunger that is built right in. So if you're remixing something that has like sugar in it, I'm from Georgia, so everybody drinks a lot of sweet tea there, and this is perfect for remixing sweet tea or lemonade or any of those sugary drinks that sometimes the sugar will settle to the bottom. I'm gonna put the lid back on our micro cooker so that I don't pour the cinnamon sticks into the pitcher. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this. I love that this has steaming vents, but they're also great. That was louder than I expected. They're also great for straining liquids out and keeping other things in. So behind we just have the cinnamon sticks. So I'll discard those, and we're going to add the rest of our ingredients right to the quick stir pitcher and mix it all up. So we're going to start with the remaining apple cider. So you use part of it to heat up the cinnamon sticks, and then the rest you're going to pour in afterwards. So we're going to add 4 more cups. So I'll post this recipe in my recipe community. You can find it at theflipflopchef.com. Just use the search feature there for apple cider sangria, and you'll be able to find it. The recipe I am doing though is double what I will share there. So 4 more cups of the apple cider, and this is not sparkling apple cider, this is just regular apple cider. We're going to add some Pinot Grigio to this, and I use Winking Owl brand. This is from Aldi. I like it because it's inexpensive, but it also tastes really good too. So let's take our electric wine opener. We're going to use the foil cutter, which is also the stand. This comes with a charging cable that you can just plug right into the wall. The stand doubles as the foil cutter, so you don't have to get out a knife or scissors or anything to take the foil off. You just put it on the top, give it a squeeze, turn the bottle completely around, and your foil is going to be right there. So let's go ahead and do the other one so that you get to see this twice. Twist all the way around. And then we're going to use the electric wine opener to take the corks out. So our wine opener, it lights up while it's charging and also while it's in use. We're going to put this right on the top, press the down button, and it's going to go right into the bottle. And because it's see-through, you can see where the cork is. Press the up button, and it's going to give you the cork right back. All right? So I'm going to change the view of my camera. I realize you guys couldn't see the top of that wine opener on my previous bottle. So we have 2 here. Put this on the top. Press the down button. Excuse me, and you'll be able to watch as that cork comes right out of the bottle. Press the up button again, and it's going to give you the cork back. You can re-cork these bottles and use the wine opener again if needed to take those corks out. So we're going to add this to our quick stir pitcher. So pour 2 bottles. Almost. There we go. And then we're going to add some garnishes. But before we do that, I'm gonna put our plunger in. Whoops, splashed that, didn't mean to drop it. And then you're gonna just gently mix this. Now, if you are using any kind of sparkling or carbonated beverage in these quick stir pitchers, you do not wanna plunge really, really hard or really, really fast, because it will build up that fizz and it will overflow. I tell you this from experience. So we're gonna just blend that just slightly, and I like to put the any kind of garnishes I like to put inside on top of this piece right here. And so that way, if I want to take those out, I can just pull this out to easily discard them. So I like to put them in after we have the lid in there already. So this recipe calls for pomegranate seeds, but I went ahead and just added some cranberries for the color because I had some of those in my freezer. And we're gonna add some leftover apple wedges from another recipe that I made earlier. Be sure to check my channel for that. And then I'm gonna take an orange here, and I'm just going to wedge this. You can leave the garnishes out if you like, but it just makes this look so pretty when you add all of this in. So our apple wedges, we're gonna toss those in, and then I'm gonna show you a fun way that you can slice your apples if you don't wanna use the apple wedger. All right, so we're gonna add that in, set this aside, and I'm just gonna wipe this off, get all that orange juice and have a little seed on there. Next, we're gonna take our quick slice, and I love this product because you can use it to slice a big fresh mozzarella ball if you wanted to. You can use it to slice soft vegetables, anything that's not super, super hard. So we are gonna use this on our apple, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut around the core, okay? So you see I'm just kind of squaring it off, and I'm not gonna use the whole apple just since I already have some in there, but I like how this looks when you slice it in the quick slice. So we're gonna put this in here, and then you just line this up, rock it back and forth, and look, you have these perfect, beautiful, thick slices of apples, but they're not quite as thick as an apple wedge from the wedger. So we'll toss that in. I'll save that apple, the rest of the apple, for another recipe. All right, so now you get to see the beautiful caramel apple cider sangria. And you can just plunge it to mix right before serving. This is ready to go. I can put it in the fridge and it'll be ready later on when I'm ready to serve it. All right, the next recipe, we're going to use the smaller quick stir pitcher. So the one I used a minute ago is the gallon size. We're gonna use the 2 quarts, it's half the size. We're gonna use a whole container of stock pumpkin creamed cold brew. So this is obviously a seasonal item from stock, and I meant to take this off before we started and I forgot. There we go. I love all of Stock's cold brew, and so they have the seasonal one. It is fun. So I'm gonna pour this into the quick stir pitcher here. I'm gonna pour the whole container. So we're gonna make a copycat version of Starbucks pumpkin cold brew latte. So we're gonna set this aside. I'm gonna use my Flex Plus with the immersion blender attachment. So if you haven't seen this, I have several other videos where I show you how to use this, but you're gonna get to see it in action again in this video. So I am using about a half a can of pumpkin pie mix. So you'll notice that this says mix on here, so this is not just plain canned pumpkin, and I saved the leftovers, so that's why it's already in this little container here. We're gonna put this into our immersion blender container. This is a product that comes with your immersion blender. Set that aside. By the way, you do get this really cool storage lid, so if whatever you're blending in here needs to be stored for later, you can put the cap on it and put this in the refrigerator. We're gonna add some heavy cream to this. Shake that up a little bit. You wanna try to keep your container about half full. So I'm not measuring really any of this, but it was about a half a can of the pumpkin pie mix, and I just added heavy cream to get to about half. This is the immersion blender attachment. We're gonna put the power handle on, and I'm gonna add the battery pack to the top. And make a little bit of noise here. You're gonna stick this in. There's a safety switch. Let me show you. There's a safety switch right here. You're gonna press this. It lights up on this side. You can increase the speed all the way up to high if you'd like, or you can lower it back down. I'm gonna turn this around so that I can see it, and then we're going to start blending. So I like to start low and then go a little bit faster speed. So I'm going to start it out slow and then speed it up. And you do need a little bit of air, so occasionally you want to pull it up like this. But you can leave it in the bottom, and it will still do a lot of the mixing, but occasionally you're going to need to add a little bit of air in there so that this gets nice and whipped. It's already getting really, really thick. I'm going to add a little air. Don't come up too high or you'll splatter. Alright, I'm going to go down to low and get a lot of that out of my, around the blade. Alright, we're going to take the power handle and the battery off, and I'm just going to tap some of this out. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to pour this into our quick stir pitcher. I'm actually going to take this out since this is not something that's going to need to be like the fruit garnish we did before. I wanted it to be on top of that. It's really okay if this goes in this way. But I do recommend that you put the coffee in first because you don't want this just sitting on the bottom, and some of it may not remix very well even with the plunger. All right, so we're gonna add this. And this pitcher is really a perfect fit for this recipe. And you can make this ahead of time and store it in the refrigerator. You're going to have to remix it each time you serve it because that is pumpkin puree in there, and it is going to solidify a little bit and separate. So I actually shared some of this with some friends yesterday, and I just put it back in this container, and before you serve it, you just have to shake it back up. So we're just gonna mix this together. And so we have a whole pitcher of a Copycat recipe for Starbucks pumpkin cold brew latte. So I hope you guys will enjoy both of these recipes, and you'll be able to find them in my recipe community at theflipflopchef.com. So I hope to see you there. And again, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.